All right.
I'll leave it at that.
All right, that's fair.
We just lost any women's fans. Sorry. I'd be excited about it if it was 8.
Hey, for those of you that are women's fans, I'm also a women's fan, so don't run away just because Smitty has an opinion. It's fine. He didn't have to watch it. We can. We can watch it together.
There'll be plenty of bandwidth.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Players Meeting, a Win Dummies production powered by the ACDGC and the KDGA. I'm your host, Lucas Deal, and this is episode number 55. No DGPT this week? No problem. Florida to Texas to Arkansas, we've got tournaments galore to break down. Plus, the Music City Open is on deck, and the DGPT just dropped all of the matchup, the pool play for the match play championships that's happening in November and through a couple of the events throughout the year. We're going to break down all of the details there. It all happens in this episode, so stay strapped in. And if you have not, please subscribe to the Disc and Deals Coverage YouTube channel. That's where you're going to see all of our podcasts. Make sure you ring that bell for notifications so you never miss a single episode. But without further ado, let's bring in the real star of the show, the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Smith, a.k.a. Smitty, the one-time world champ. Smitty, what up, dude?
Not much, man. Just ready to get rolling here, get through my 2-day work week, and head off to San Diego to see my kid.
Okay. That's awesome. 2-day work week is always nice. Seeing your kid is pretty cool, too.
Yeah, 2-day work week actually means 5 days crammed into 2 for a teacher.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't sound as exciting.
No. And then I'll come back and nothing will be done. So, you know how it goes.
Is it the kids or the subs? Do we want to put the substitute teachers on blast here?
It's not their fault.
Okay. All right, Smitty. Well, I know you got into some disc golf action this weekend. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I played the Park City Open. Got the win. Number 93. It was windy. It wasn't exactly warm. And it was just all about playing smart. And I guess I'm smarter than the rest of them.
Man. Yeah, number 93. We're on the tracker here to 100. Hopefully it still happens here in 2025. But yeah, I was out there as well. And you're right. It was windy. And I am telling you, Smitty, there is no way that tournament ever gets played without there being at least 20-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely adds a level of difficulty to that course. And you're right. It's always not just windy, but really windy at that event.
Yeah, it's crazy because I think when you have to play in the wind, it's such a mentally taxing thing because you don't run things you normally run, and it's just boring disc golf a lot of times. And you kind of take the birdies when they come, because if you're outside the circle, running some of those is a mistake, and a lot of people pay for those.
Well, and several of the holes at that place are dangerous to putt in calm winds, like hole 5 on the hump and hole 6 on the dike, and hole 7 10 feet from the grass, and hole 9 and hole 10. They're all just – they're not fun holes in the first place, and then you add the wind, and they're really not fun.
Yeah. Hole 6 was playing extremely crazy. I saw an 8 on that hole from someone.
Throwing how'd that happen?
They were on the downside of it and they were running it, which I think was the mistake. And it kept going up and all the way back down the hill 3 different times. Then a couple missed putts. You know, they can just stack up pretty easy in that wind.
I probably would have walked off the course at that point.
I actually was impressed. Dude stayed the whole time. So,
right on. Well, let's get into some real disc golf.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the action that happened this weekend on the off week. Let's start where we always start. What's popping? What's been happening around the world of disc golf? This week, Smitty, we're going to start in NOLA, New Orleans, for the Hooters 2025 Pot of Gold. Now, I don't know if Hooters is the premier sponsor here, but that's kind of fun.
Yeah, maybe, but that design needs some work. That Hooters chick is contorted and weird looking, and yeah, man, not my
Yeah.
favorite design. But
Well,
go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
But if there's an event in the South, Matty O is going to be there. So that was the first thing I wanted to look at.
Yep, he's definitely there, but he might not be the story here. If we take a look at this, yes, Matteo got the victory, but look over there on the women's side. Paige Pierce wins by 30 strokes, Smitty. Now, keep in mind there were only 3 women in the field, and Zoe Andike was the next closest competitor to her. Is this Paige doing Paige things, or is this just a lack of competition for Paige?
Oh man, she's back. She's the odds-on favorite to be the world champion. Nobody's ever going to beat this chick ever again. She is the greatest disc golf chick we've ever seen in our entire lives.
Yeah, I mean, to win by 30 is always impressive. But yeah, the field was maybe a little bit lacking in that aspect. But you're right, Smitty. Matteo took the victory. He pulls off the win on the men's side. He was down the final round, so he came in. He didn't actually have a lead the entire tournament until the final round. Yeah. He was down 2 strokes to Linus and Silas, but took control on hole 6. He took the lead, and he really never looked back. Did you look at some of the scores here? I know we don't have coverage of it.
I looked at the scores a little bit. I didn't really study it too much. I just wanted to kind of see what big names are there and how they finished. I'm guessing there'll probably be some coverage of some sort coming out. Gatekeeper or somebody maybe. I don't know. I didn't look too hard. But, yeah, I mean, back to Paige. No, I think Paige just played a terrible field.
Yeah.
I don't think it means much moving forward, but maybe it'll build some confidence for her. Maybe she did some good things. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Matty O had to bang against Linus and Silas there, and Micah was the other.
He came in hot that final round.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at this, and it looks like Linus and Silas both shot double-digit under both rounds until the final round, where they only shot 4 and 7 respectively. And it sounds like maybe they were either too conservative with something on the line, maybe nervy, maybe they were just outplayed by Matteo. I don't know. I think it was a different course that final day.
City Park was round 3. Yeah, it was a different course than the other 2.
Okay. I thought it was. Yeah, so definitely may have suited Matteo's game more, but congrats to Matteo. As you mentioned, if it's a Southern tournament, we're probably going to see him somewhere around there. All right, Smitty, let's talk about another tournament that was down south, and that's in Texas. We have the 30th annual Texas State Disc Golf Championships, and this was a good one.
Yeah. I mean, this was pretty sure a Disc Golf Pro Tour Silver Series event. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it's hard to find any information. In fact, I'm not 100% sure that it was, but I'm about 99.95% sure that it was a Pro Tour event.
All right.
Really shows how much they're valuing their G League, their starter league, getting people going league. But yeah, good event for these guys for sure. Very familiar face that we see win a lot of these, or in the mix in a lot of these.
Yeah.
GT Hancock.
Yep, he's there. On the women's side, it looked like Valerie Mondahano and Owen Scoggins were tied going into the final round. Valerie took 4 of the first 5 holes, and she rode that momentum into a 2-stroke win. So congratulations to Valerie. And I think, Smitty, it's not a Silver Series anymore. It's called the Q Series, right?
There we go. That's what I mean. Q Series.
Okay, that's what you meant. Yeah. That Q Series. Yeah, so it was a Q Series event. You're right.
It's some part of the Disc Golf Pro Tour, but they don't advertise it too well or make it easy to find.
Right, because Glass Blown will be one, and then we'll be at Star City, which is another one that they have. Yeah, okay. Yep, exactly. And then finally, Smitty, I want to talk about GT. There's not much information out there on this tournament. So I messaged GT to ask a little bit about it. So as you can see, him and Charlie Moore tied, right? So this did go into a playoff. But before we get to the playoff, we have to talk a little bit about how GT got there. Because GT was on chase card. All right. So he came from the chase card. He took a double bogey. He took a spit out rollaway OB missed putt 5 on hole 5. And then he clawed his way back, getting 9 of the last 13 to get into that playoff. Now, I chatted with GT after and asked him how this playoff shook out. And he told me, and I quote, I'm going to just read. Charlie went first on the first playoff hole, and they both birdied. Second hole, GT almost aced. Charlie landed in the hazard. Charlie misses, so GT lays up, easy tap in for the victory on that second playoff hole. So congratulations to GT. This was a big win for him. His first chase card A-tier win. He was going to try to be here with us tonight, but he's got some technological issues with his phone that just didn't let him be here. But he did want me to mention a few things. I asked him if he had anything he wanted to say about the victory. He said his breathing was his biggest weapon. It kept him calm. He said earlier this year he's missed cash at the 2 Pro Tour events that he's been at. And he has relearned Zen Golf, and AKA that's just controlling his breathing. And he says when you can control your breathing, anything is possible. So a little bit of inspiration there from GT, but it's really, really helped him. And obviously getting 9 of the last 13. Huge shout out to GT, and thanks GT for chatting about it with me.
Yeah, good for him. Picking up a win and hopefully gaining some mo going into the next few events, because I'm sure he'll play some of these Disc Golf Pro Tour events coming up.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's move on to Florida.
We are just in the South, aren't we?
Yeah. And we got Throwdown the Mountain. And really, this tournament was dominated by lightning this weekend, Smitty. Really, this canceled the men's whole final round. You're a TD, Smitty. When you get in these type of weather situations, is there anything else that can happen in this, or is this just part of the sport when you get that inclement weather?
Yeah, I mean, you're just completely at the mercy of what happens. And no matter what call you make, usually it seems to be the wrong one to most people's point of view. But you can't mess around with lightning, and player safety has to be of the utmost concern. So every time it lightnings, you have to delay 30 minutes.
Yep. And it resets the timer.
Yeah, with a large event like this, I'm assuming on Olympus, maybe it's in Brooksville.
Yeah, it was Olympus.
And lots of other divisions. You don't have a lot of time to waste.
No. And you know who took advantage of this? There's a couple people that did. Number 1, Morgan Lenz. She grabs the win here. She was actually down, I think, in 3rd place here at the start of this round. They got through 16 holes, so I think they'll count every single one of those holes for the lady as long as it's past 9. She's going to take the victory over her sister and a few other players there. And on the men's side, it's a little bit sad because you had Yuli and Kevin Kiefer, who's off the tour this year, so this is a moneymaker for him. They didn't get a chance to battle because no 4th round for them. No final round was played. Does this tarnish Clay Harvey's win here, or is he just going to laugh his way to the bank, Smitty?
Well, I'm assuming Clay Harvey would have liked to play that last round to see if he could win. I don't know Clay Harvey, but I would have wanted to play.
Yeah.
See if I could win. Does it tarnish it? No. It's just it's out of his hands more than it is the TD's. I don't know if you know this or not, but Kiefer is actually the groundskeeper at Olympus now.
Really? No, I did not.
Yeah, it was Nick, Carl, and then it's now Kevin. Nick went back to Massachusetts or wherever he's from.
Crazy. Okay.
Yeah. So Kevin was on site a lot. So yeah, I mean, pretty cool to say that you won, but like I said, I'm guessing that he would have rather played it 3 rounds, kind of like Big Germ. Big Germ can claim being a USDGC champ, but it was shortened by rain. He claims it. A lot of people gave him crap about it, but
Yeah.
in the end, wasn't his call. So,
Yep, exactly.
good.
I think with those type of things, someone's always going to attach an asterisk to it. But at the end of the day, a win is a win, and he did what he needed to do to put himself in that position.
Yep, and not a lot of big names there. Just those two, and I think Clay Harvey's a pretty highly rated player. I think he's over 1,000.
Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar with him either. I know Alex Berg. I've heard that name before, but other than the top three and Alex, that's all I knew.
Yeah, Clay's 1,001 from Largo, Florida.
Okay, all right. Well, congratulations, Clay. We're not giving you an asterisk. You did what you need to do, my man.
Get the win in my book.
Yep. All right. Let's move over to Arkansas. 2 tournaments in Arkansas this weekend. Let's talk about Jonesboro first, Smitty.
Let's do that.
We talked about Paige's dominance with a 30-stroke win, but what about Kristin Latt? Did you know that's how you say her name?
Latt. I did.
Okay. I learned that off Simon's blog. Did you too?
I haven't watched Simon's vlog, but I've been paying attention to other things. But
okay.
Yeah, unlike Paige, this was probably a lot of luck involved. I hope it helps her gain a little confidence moving forward to be able to compete with the rest of the dominating women's field. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she probably needed the confidence boost for sure. Smitty, she slayed, and I mean slayed. This lady averaged 1030 rated golf. Let's just put that into perspective. That's the highest, I think, event rating, at least at this tournament. I don't know if that's ever.
All time. Women's all time. Event. Yeah.
Yeah, all time. How crazy is that, Smitty?
It's amazing, really, to say that it was the greatest women's tournament ever played. And people may tag an asterisk to this as well because it was played over 2 rounds of 27 holes.
I was going to ask you, what did you think about that format?
That's a lot of holes in a row.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And we know that this place, this side of heaven, is not a small track.
No.
So I don't know where the extra 9 holes came into play. I have never been on the property, but yeah, dude, I think it's pretty amazing. And the record before belonged to Owen Scoggins from Open at Austin last year, like 129.5, something like that. So Kristin beat it by just about 1 ratings point. And, I'm guessing that Kristin will probably be the next lady to beat this record.
Yeah. I mean, fantastic. And as you can see, she dominated over the other women here with Silva, Rebecca, Kat, and Katrina. A little bit of a different type of field than Paige had for her victory. And I mean, this was 23 strokes over some of the best women in the FPO.
And she would have stomped the crap out of any other woman that was there as well, Paige included.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would have came close. Now, let's look at the men's side real fast because we got Ben Calloway, who took a 4-stroke lead into the final round and sealed it with a 2-stroke victory. I looked at scores there, and he just played solid throughout. Didn't look like much of a doubt. Goose made a charge there at the end, but was a little too far out to have it matter.
Whatever it is about this course, it just suits Ben Calloway because he was in the running to win this last year against all the big boys.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's some good players in this field as well. I'm not going to get super excited about any of them and say that they're going to win Music City by any means, but there's some good players here. Aaron Gossage is good. Vino's good. Yossi Niemanen's good. So, I mean, Corey Ellis, major champion. So, yeah. I mean, it's a great win for him.
It is. And another one that probably is going to help the confidence. But there was also another tournament played in Arkansas, Smitty, and this was the Go Throw event at Persimmon Ridge. And there was a pretty good field. On the women's side, probably not as much, but we'll talk about the women first. And Jennifer Smiley, who we talked a little bit about last year for Rookie of the Year.
Yes,
Here
sir.
she is, winning by one stroke. I haven't got to see any of this coverage. I don't think they put out the women's as fast, but I'm telling you, that was pretty down to the wire between the top three. Looks like a stroke separating all three of them. And so that could have been really tight towards the end. Because it's on UDisc, I don't do a good job of following the scores. Did you look closely at the end of this particular one to see if it was close at the end?
The lady?
Yeah.
No, not one bit. Didn't even scroll down to it.
Okay.
So, and when it comes out on video, you'll have to watch it and give me the play-by-play, because
all right.
I watched a little bit of the men's. I just think live disc golf has spoiled me. I had a hard time making it through either the coverage from GoThrow or the Ace Run Pro, but I watched a little bit of it just to see how it played out, and I wanted to see the finish of the men's, because I saw that Kevin, who ended up winning, carded a bogey on the last hole, and I wanted to see if he was laying up to get that bogey or if he was trying to throw the tournament away, and he was lucky to win in this case. He
really? Okay.
He threw well down the fairway. He and Solly both threw well down the fairway. Kevin missed the island, came up short. One mistake you can't make. Solly threw it on. Kevin then looked like probably 215, 220 to the pin, and just threw a beautiful upshot, putting it 5 feet past it up on this little elevated platform. He just skirted over the top of it. Solly Tipton into a position where he had to make the putt for the win, or for the playoff, I guess, at this point. And no, it's for the win. So he went for it and he missed, and then missed the comebacker.
Oh, no.
The playoff, yeah.
How far was the comebacker, you think?
Well, it was quite a bit uphill. The ground was sloped, and I would say, the basket was on a high rise, is what made it above his feet, and the ground was sloped. He's probably even with the basket that way. I would say it's probably 25 to 30. It wasn't super duper long, but it wasn't a gimme by any means. And he missed it and ended up letting Calvin even slip by him. Actually, Calvin tied him.
Yeah, three-way tie for second there.
Yeah.
Sounds like it was fortunate for KJ, but at the same time, he put himself in a position there at the end to get that win and force someone to make a putt. And I'm telling you right now, he beat some dang good people. He beat Vinny, Gannon, Buckets. That was a good field.
Yeah, he beat some dudes. Jake Mon, who's on fire right now. So
he really has been playing well. So you said you watched a little bit of the Ace Run?
Did you? I went to watch Ace Run just because I heard that Gannon and Vinny were the commentators.
That's what I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah, I wanted to listen to a little bit of it. I didn't have much time today to check it out. Just watch a little bit of the final round back nine, but I'll probably go in and check it out again. I think Ace Run did a great job of pushing out coverage next day as well. So
okay, that's sweet. Yeah, I had 2 different messages from people today. One person was telling me how much they loved Vinny and Gannon, and someone else messaged and said, I don't know who decided to put them on commentary together, but that sucked. So I want to know what I haven't got to listen either. So I'm wondering what your opinion is on it when you get a chance. So we'll talk about it next week.
I'm sure I'll like it because I like Vinny's sense of humor. I think he and I kind of like the same stupid stuff and say the same stupid stuff. So, I'm sure I'll be a fan of it, but yeah, I'll we'll see. There's going to be a lot of other disc golf to watch this week too. So I don't know how much I'll dig into it, but I guess we might as well give him a quick shout out. You can catch all of the coverage of both rounds on GoThrow with Luke and Paul on the commentary, or you can head over to Ace Run and catch the chase card. And like we just discussed, Vinny and Gannon. You got nothing to do and you're looking for some entertainment, 30 minutes for a 9 isn't bad.
Yep. Not bad at all.
The intro to the front 9 of the first round on Go Throw is great, where they interview the owners of the property. It's really nice.
Oh yeah, they're awesome people. Everyone that's gone there says like they're the best host ever. So
yeah. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Smitty, the official match play championship. I want to make sure everyone understands how this match play works. So as you can see, there's going to be 4 different events where before that event happens, there's going to be some match play competitions. Those 4 events that will happen will be Music City Open, Crocal, Idlewild, and Green Mountain.
So 3 really great courses and Music City.
And they will just play their match play, and it's based off pools. The winner of those 4 pools will then play November 7th through 9th to see who's going to be the match play champion. But here's the pools.
Yeah, for the men, we have Gannon, Anthony, Chris Dickerson, Luke Humphreys making up the A pool. Each one of these guys will play one of the other dudes at one of those 4 events. B pool, Ricky, Paul, Matteo, and Ezra Aderhold. C pool, Little Nick, Peach Pirate, Buckets, and Simon Lazat. And then the D pool, Vinny, 2-time, Adam Hammes, and Evan Smith. Our matchups for this week, pretty good ones. Some of them are pretty awesome.
Yeah,
the way you want to start it. I'm for sure, and what they're going to do is I think they're going to send A pool out together, B pool out together, C pool out together, and D pool out together. I'm looking really forward to the Gannon AB matchup. I think that's going to be fantastic. If I didn't have to, well, I guess I don't have to work Thursday, so I might tune in a little bit. I might get in trouble if I'm at a Marine Corps ceremony trying to watch Disc Golf Pro Tour, but it could happen. Earbud at least. No, I'm kidding. And then we have Dickerson versus Luke. Sorry, Luke. You got your work cut out for you playing the robot chicken in his home state.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the B pool, another big dog matchup. Ricky versus Paul. According to Jose, they're good buddies now, so they'll probably just tie. And then Matteo and Ezra, not as excited about that one. C pool, another banger at the top. Ezra Robinson and Little Nick. And then Simon and Buckets. And then the D pool, another really good matchup to start us off. iRob and Vinny. And then down below we have Adam and Evan. So it should be fun to watch them play, depending on if they're bouncing back card to card and keeping you updated as to what's happening. You can see a lot of golf real quick in match play.
Yeah, and this particular one's going to be at Mill Ridge. So this isn't the longest course, Smitty. Do you think there's anyone that benefits from match play versus stroke play here? Do you have a favorite that's going to come out and win this thing?
Well, you'd have to pick one. You'd have to pick a winner from each match because that's all that really matters.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm asking is, who do you think is going to definitely dominate this weekend? Name 2, and then name someone that you think is going to win it all. Like not just this week, but the whole thing. I want your early season pick.
Well, Simon's going to stomp a mud hole in Buckets.
Okay.
And Dickerson's going to probably smack Luke around pretty good.
Okay.
So those are the two that I think will be the biggest blowouts.
And then overall, who's going to win it?
The overall thing, it's hard to choose against Gannon, but I'm going to take Rick.
Oh, okay. Okay, I like it. So we'll see if that changes once some things happen. But that's cool. My question, Tell me right now, between Gannon and AB. Gannon?
Not if AB's making putts.
This is going to be fun. I'm really excited to watch these. I think this is going to be awesome. But, Smitty, it's not just the men.
No, it's not.
That sounded disheartening.
Yeah, we'll look and see why.
Okay. Well, we have the same amount of women.
There's the problem.
You don't think there should be as many women just because there's not as many top women players? Is that kind of what your thoughts?
Multiple reasons. Number one, there's not as many good women players, like you just said. Number two, the field is so much smaller.
Yeah.
Being one of those 16 men means something. Being one of these 16 women just means you're not absolutely terrible, kind of. Right? There's some bad players on here, dude. Bad disc golf players. Right? Looking at the A pool, Holland and Ella deserve to play in it. They deserve to be part of it. Deanne Carey, Allie Smith. Allie Smith, basketball putts.
Sometimes,
right?
Yeah.
Deanne Carey, never been relevant in disc golf. We got B pool, Owen Scoggins, Kat Murch, Ellie Ezra, and Katrina Allen. Once again, the top two definitely deserve to be there. They're two of the best. Ellie Ezra, I think she has a high ceiling. She's not there yet. Kat, probably in on history.
Okay.
Tournament director pick. So I'm guessing each of these tournament directors probably got to pick, I'm guessing.
Yeah, there was that kind of thing happened for the men too. Like, Luke Humphreys got picked.
Yeah, it's all the same. I mean, all the same criteria. C pool, Kristin got picked based on that Jonesboro performance, and that alone probably doesn't deserve to be there. No, of course. Kristin and Silva, two of the best in the game. And then Paige, probably getting in on past history. And Lucky. Right? And then let's go to the D pool. Once again, this one, Missy Gannon for sure deserves to be there. Rebecca Cox.
She deserves to be there, Smitty.
She can play here. Maybe match play is good for her. It might suit her game better. But then look at these other two. Jessica Weiss, maybe, and Madison Walker, no way. I think, at some point, I would have probably said we're only taking
8.
They can sit out one of the events or whatever you'd have to sit out 2 of the events or just put them in 2 pools. I don't know what you do, but
have a bye. Yeah,
it's just too much. I can't imagine how boring the Madison Walker Jessica Weiss matchup's going to be.
Well, let's look at the matchup, Smitty. Any of these that you're excited about?
No.
Okay. Well, let me tell you what I'm excited about. So I'll tell you, I'd say all the ones along the top, I think could be exciting.
They're all good matches. The top ones are all great matches.
Yeah. Along the top, I think those are going to be definitely your best ones to watch. The other ones, I'm always interested to see who's going to win. I don't think it's going to be as exciting. I do think that the Deanne Carey and Allie Smith match could be a snooze fest, and Jessica Weiss and Madison Walker could also be. And then I don't mind seeing the other two. I think that's still going to be fun just to see, because Paige just gets dumb. And match play may suit her the best because how aggressive she is as a player with her putt. So we'll see what happens. But I'll be watching both, and I'll report in on the women since I think Smitty's going to sit that one out.
I'm not watching that. I'd say the matches on the top are all about who's going to win, and the matches on the bottom are going to be about who doesn't lose as much.
All right.
I'll leave it at that.
All right, that's fair.
We just lost any women's fans. Sorry. I'd be excited about it if it was 8.
Hey, for those of you that are women's fans, I'm also a women's fan. So don't run away just because Smitty has an opinion. It's fine. He didn't have to watch it. We can. We can watch it together.
There'll be plenty of bandwidth.
Music City Open this week, Smitty. Let's talk a little bit about Mill Ridge. I think there's a few changes that happened to this, but this is the battleground for the week. Same course as always. Tell me what you think about this course, the layout, the challenges, or maybe lack of challenge that this course provides.
Yeah, I couldn't, when I was doing my research to see where it was, the name came up. I couldn't remember any of the holes. So I had to go back to Joe Mez last year and kind of watch. And I remembered some of them. There's some fun holes here for these guys. And then I noticed that I was trying to watch Joe Mez and compare it to the caddy book, and things weren't lining up. So some of the holes have been split to make into one. There's a few new holes. Yeah, it's what it is. Looks like it's on the top of a hill in a pasture. There's a few rows of trees. You can see all the trees on the course are all in straight lines, like they're windrows or something. Yeah, so I didn't know what was going on. So then I watched a little bit of Ezra and Goose's practice round, and believe it or not, it was good this time.
They liked the course?
Well, they didn't like the course, but they didn't constantly complain about everything.
Okay.
They did a bit, which they're entitled to that. I mean, they can complain all they want, really. But I think maybe they read the comments and maybe saw that, hey, look, we're turning people off by the way we're acting. So it's actually pretty enjoyable to see. And they did a little bit more of talking about how they were going to attack it and what the play was. But yeah, dude, there's a lot of OB on this course, string OB, that I think if the wind is up could make this a real challenge for these guys.
Okay.
A lot of 2 and 3 tree gaps that you need to hit from distance. So I think it'll provide plenty of challenge. I think we'll probably set up for a good tournament as well.
Well, tell me how good of a tournament, Smitty, because we know Simon Lizotte, 2-time defending champion, is a 3-peat in the cards, or is the field too strong this year?
I mean, you can never count Simon out. I'll take the field over Simon if you're going to give me everybody. I don't think he's a shoo-in for the win. I think he definitely is going to be in the mix. But yeah, I think we'll get a different winner. I think we'll get a new winner on the year.
Yeah, I think 2-peating is hard. To 3-peat, that is quite the feat. And if he does, shoot, I can't wait to watch that vlog.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. So yeah, it's probably about the time we should get into our,
Yeah, I think it is time, Smitty.
Should we do it?
Yeah, let's do it. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Weekly picks.
You had the big win last week.
I sure did. So you know what that means. I'm going to go ahead and give you the ball. So who do you want to pick? Huh? I'm going to defer.
Yeah, I'm going to start with my sleeper for the week.
Okay.
This dude did not play last year at this event. I feel like this course is right up this dude's alley. He averaged 24th in Disc Golf Pro Tour finishes in 2024. And I want him to win because I want a new commercial. Give me the Wind Dragon, Eagle McMahon.
Okay. That's nice. I don't think he's even going to be in the mix. You think this course suits him?
Yeah, I think this course is a little longer than you think it is. And I think Eagle has pretty decent control off of the tee.
Okay. Well, I'm going to choose someone that did play last year and the year before, and he's kind of like a top 20 finisher at this event. So not crazy, but we always say top 20 is good on the Pro Tour, especially when you are typically averaging 45th. And so this year, my sleeper is going to be Mr. Robert Burridge.
Big Bob.
Big Bob.
Yeah. Well, I was high on Bob early in the year after that whole New Zealand swing, but he just hasn't been banging with these big boys, has he?
He hasn't been as high as we would think, but if I look at this, Smitty, he did finish 15th at the Supreme Flight Open. So to start the year, did pretty good. But you're right. The last two tournaments, 49th at Waco, 72nd at Open in Austin. But I think he has fond memories here, and I think he's going to do well this weekend.
Yeah, well, good luck on that.
Thank you.
Yep. Your pick, buddy.
All right, sure. Let's go shine. My shine is going to be someone that played extremely well last year but did not win. He was your sleep last week, and he's going to be my shine this week. And I said he's not going to win an event this year, but I think he's going to get pretty darn close. And my shine for the week is Mr. Paul Macbeth.
Yeah, I knew you were going to pick Paul Macbeth. That's why I didn't, because I think he might win as well. But I figured you were going to hop on my coattails and try to ride that beast to a victory. I looked at Paul, and I like him as a pick to win this thing. He's trending in the right direction. He's playing well. But I did have a sneaky feeling you were going to pick him. So I went a different way. I went with the hardest player to beat in Tennessee. Give me the Robot Chicken. Finished third last year at this event.
Yep, he is Tennessee. So, and if Persimmon Ridge showed us anything, your home state matters, as KJ took that down in Arkansas. So I like that pick. Good pick there. All right, Smitty. Now, why don't you bring us home with a stink?
I looked long and hard, and I was having a tough time finding a dude that was going to stink and finding any reason why this dude was going to stink. So I finally came to a conclusion on a guy that finished 56th last year. He averages 26th in the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
We got the same one, baby.
I'm
pretty sure. Let's see.
Great. So I took Gavin Babcock.
Yeah. Honestly, Smitty, he didn't just finish 50. What would you say last year?
56th.
He finished even worse the year before, like in the 70s. So
I saw that.
So I think this is the right pick. I'm with you on this one. So that should make you feel real good.
Yeah.
But the great thing is now we can't win. We can't win that one since we have the same one. So just give us greens. Give us both greens.
Yeah. Participation trophy.
But honestly, I'm thinking outside the top 45 for sure for him. For whatever reason, he just didn't play that course well.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yep.
Not sure what the connection is there. Maybe we talked about certain courses meeting people's game, and maybe this one just doesn't meet his.
Yeah. Well, Smitty, I'm going to tell you this right now. We're not the only ones that had to make picks this week.
No, we're not. Because
the Survivor League is still in full swing with 4 people remaining. So let's take a look at those picks right now. All right. So here we go. Some people were on your Chris Dickerson train of thought. Looks like Tyson and Knopper both chose the Robot Chicken. And Sean thinks Simon's going to play well here. Obviously, he's shown in the past that he has after being a 2-time defending champion. And then Shafe went AB, which AB played well last year here. Do you see anyone not making it this week, Smitty?
We got 4 live after this week.
All right, so these boys are doing good. We will see how this all shakes up. I'm hoping either Simon wins and everyone else sucks, or AB wins and everyone else sucks, so that we can get back in the ball game. It's tough being on the sidelines, but I'm used to it, but it still is tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I think these are all 4 solid picks, and soon they'll run out of cupcakes, though. Welcome to Big Deal, the segment of the show where Lucas takes a deep dive. Wait a minute. Where Smitty takes a deep dive into things that everyone is talking about, whether they deserve the hype and truly are a big deal, or are just total overblown. Yeah, big deal, bro. Get ready for some hot takes, sarcastic commentary, and a little bit of drama, because in this segment, we'll decide whether it really truly is a big deal.
All right, and that's Smitty mentioned. I actually have one for Smitty this week because I just saw this a couple days ago, and I don't know if you've seen this, Smitty. So I did not warn Smitty about this, but after the backlash of hole 18 at Sprinkle Valley, Mint Disc posted a video with what appeared to be a pretty sincere apology. In that video, they then unbolted basket 18. They picked it up and they carried it away, saying that the hole is a 17-hole course right now until they figure out what they're going to do. Is this a big deal that they're taking feedback? Or is it a big deal, bro, and it's just an April Fool's joke that's going to be released today?
Man. I think if the amount of whining and complaining that took place, that these guys took it to heart and are going to actually change the hole, I think that could be a big deal. But if the answer is moving the basket, yeah, big deal, bro. That's the best part of the entire hole. I hope moving the basket to a new location isn't their fix. I think there's multiple other fixes, and I did not hate the hole. I just think they didn't play it right.
Yeah, so I think they mentioned in the video, he mentioned something about maybe making it a par 3 or something along those lines. But picking up that basket and taking it away, I don't think is the answer either. I like the location. I think it's a difficult shot. They just have to make a few tweaks, right? Like, don't go overboard by completely scratching the hole, because it's a pretty cool hole if you just make some slight tweaks to it. But again, a lot of people are saying April Fool's early, so we'll see if they come back in. But apparently, people tried to go play Sprinkle, and the hole was truly gone.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think it was. Crazy. I think it was sincere. So
crazy.
The end of the episode, will we give shout outs of the week? Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, the whole crew that went out to Colwich and formed out 18 tee pads, and some took the day off from work today to work harder than they would have at work, pouring and leveling and roughing and doing whatever it takes to put tee pads in. Colwich West now has 18 cement tee pads.
Yep, I'm super duper excited for that. Yeah, shout out to you all as well, because that's not easy work. It's a lot of labor-induced work, and with my body type, that's stuff I shy away from. So thank you for being the people that will do that.
Yeah.
Anyone else you might want to give a shout out to?
What, do I owe you one, or what? What do I owe you a shout out?
I don't know. Something that maybe happened at Park City. You could make it public. Or...
You gave me a mini? Your brother gave me a mini?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Shout out to Kyle for giving Smitty a mini. Did anything happen after you won or anything?
Oh, gee, Lucas, thank you for taking a picture of me.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome, dude. Yeah, he used it in a post, okay? And I didn't get a photo credit, so I messaged him immediately and said, "You son of a gun, you didn't give me a photo credit." And, yeah, he said I get my feelings hurt too easy.
Yeah. Struck a nerve, didn't I?
Yeah. So anyways, if you see somebody's 93rd win post, that amazing picture you saw was by me, okay? All right, I have a shout out to give. I want to give a shout out to Smitty, because my brother Kyle got his mini back And Kyle was so excited because he's like, oh my God, this Mini has now won a tournament, an MPO tournament, and he was pumped. I asked Kyle if he wanted you to sign it, and he said, no, I'm good. But still, it was still pretty cool to him.
Well, I'm glad I'm such an airhead and lose my Mini pretty much weekly. So
yeah,
I can help Kyle out.
Yeah, I've never lost a Mini of yours or anything. So
yeah, my gold one, my really nice one.
Yeah, you did get it back. Personally,
I got a different one back.
You keep saying that, but it was the real deal. All right, everyone, that's the show. We'll see you next week as we break down Music City Open and take a look ahead. Thanks for always tuning in. Make sure you comment below. Let us know what you thought. See you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Later.